your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time coming to Comerica. Chrysler, enjoy your summer in style with great deals at the Chrysler Summer Clearance Event. And by Breyer's Ice Cream, quality since 1866. With a cloudy and overcast here today in Toronto, the Tigers and the Blue Jays get together. Game 2 in this 3-game series. Tigers starting 9 looks like this, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Ghost, Kinsler, and Cabrera, your top 3. V-Mart is the first baseman today, career .320 here at Rogers Center. Castellanos at third, Collins in right. They've got McCann, Iglesias, and Davis rounding it out as J.D. Martinez gets the day off today. And they are facing the right-handed offerings of Drew Hutchison.
Yep, 12-2, ERA of 5.06. He gets 6.4 runs per game of support. So there you have the record. Does have 115 strikeouts, 40 walks, and actually the roommate in spring training of Van Man. Did you know that?
Really, I did not know that. Daniel Norris.
Maybe Van Man got some info from him.
I'm sure he does. Here's the Jays defense brought to you by Tim Hortons. And you've got Pilar in center, Rivera in left, Bautista in right. Justin Smoke gets the start at first base today. He's awfully good down there. Goins, Tulowitzki, Donaldson, Russell Martin behind the dish today for Drew Hutchison.
They got the knuckleballer out of there, so Russell's back in the lineup.
Yeah, and we've got ourselves a pretty good crowd still filing into this one. They're expecting sellouts all 3 days. We had one last night. As former Blue Jay Anthony Ghost leads it off, and here we go. The first pitch is up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Ghost, and then Kinsler, and then Miguel Cabrera, the top 3 for Brad Ausmus today. Anthony batting .253 this year. Hutchison's 1-0 is popped up third base side, and Donaldson makes the play, 1 gone. That'll bring up Ian Kinsler, who jumped on a pitch last night in the first inning and homered. It was his 9th of the year. Kinsler now with 60 RBIs. We got the Tigers off and running last night, but this Jays offense tough to contain.
Yeah, Ian's just been a staple here in the Tigers lineup. Played in all but 2 games so far this year. Played in 161 games last year. It's a real luxury to be the manager and be able to write his name in the lineup every day and be able to count on him with the consistency that he's shown.
Here's the 0-1. Drives this one to center field and a base hit. Well, he just continues to sizzle.
He's barreling a lot of it. Just really comfortable staying back on all the baseballs, using the whole field. That one right up the middle. Important to have runners on in front of Miguel Cabrera.
Miggy in the ball game last night was 1 for 4, batting .366.
Blue Jays threw Miggy virtually everything down and away. Interesting to see if Drew Hutchison does the same.
Pulled foul, 0-1.
First pitch coming down and in. Couple of strikeouts last night for Miggy. That doesn't happen very often.
Cabrera finished up that homestand, 520 on the homestand, and had 1 hit last night. He has Kinsler at first with 1 out, just underway here from Rogers Center.
Hutchinson has given up 14 stolen bases this year. Caught 7 times. Russell Martin throwing runners out at 36% clip.
Martin sets up inside. And Miggy fought that one off his fists. And he kind of nodded out to Hutchison. Yep, got into my kitchen that time.
I mean, that was almost off his knuckles. Look at how far this runs. And just as they did last night, it's just the opposite tonight. Today, maybe they're just setting him up the first at bat, and they'll go away later in the game.
They're setting up outside here, and a throw back. Kinsler is 8 out of 13 this year in stolen base chances. Tigers with their loss last night, now 60 and 68 on the season. The 0-2. Miggy drives one high in the air to center field. Ball hit well. Pilar going back. Track looks up and makes the catch. Off the bat, it looked like it might go, but Cabrera just missed it.
Yeah, it seems like she got knocked down. It looked like it was traveling out towards the seats. But got right back there to the warning track where Pilar, then he set up, just kind of died and came down. Just missed it.
So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Victor Martinez. Victor at 241 was 1 for 4 last night. Had a single in his last at bat off the right field wall. Hutchison is 25 years old. He recently turned 25. Born in Lakeland, Florida. Spring training home of the Tigers. Whistle back out of play 0-1. Here is the Bernstein advantage, the pitcher batter matchup. This has been a pretty good one for Victor Martinez.
Yep, 4 for 6 with a double. Get a nice long double here and get Ian Kinsler home.
Victor's done pretty good work career against the Blue Jays. 304 lifetime. Now the 0-1 outside, 1 ball 1 strike. Blue Jays with their win last night, 72 and 56. They just continue to play outstanding baseball. They now have a game and a half lead over the New York Yankees in the East.
Yeah, they've been pouring it on since the trade deadline.
Everyone else in the division thinking wild card if at all possible. That one just missed. Martin held it there a little bit outside.
Well, when they started this run 22 and 5, they were 3 games back in the second wild card spot. They're blown by that, and now they're, as you said, a game and a half up. But this last month a lot can happen. Pressure will start to set in. See if they can continue.
Down the left field line, sailing back to the seats, out of play. Then Rivera gives a look. Well, the Tigers have one more here tomorrow. Then it's on to Kansas City, another tough opponent. By and large, in the month of September, a lot of divisional games against the likes of Minnesota, Chicago, Cleveland. 2-2 on Victor Martinez. Grounded foul. Hutchison has been helped out, as most pitchers on this staff, by some pretty good offense for the Jays. They have supported him quite a bit. Hensey has a 12-2 record, but an ERA over 5.
Yeah, but in his defense, he's thrown the ball decent in some of those games and really given up a lot of runs in other games.
7.72 runs of support, which is the best in the majors. Now the 2-2 again. Drilled toward left field. Rivera's on the run, still going back to the wall to make the catch. Ben Rivera bangs against the wall and holds on to the baseball. That one hurt a bit. A couple of hard hit balls, and the Tigers end up with nothing. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Go to the bottom of the first. Detroit Chevy dealers for the Jays today. They have Tulowitzki, Donaldson, Bautista at the top. Encarnacion, a 23-game hitting streak going. He's the DH. Smoke and Martin in the middle as well. Rivera, Pilar, and Goins rounded out for Toronto, and they are facing Mr. Buck Farmer, who is presented today by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Yep, this will be his 5th game started for the Tigers. Pretty much fastball slider against the righties, fastball change against the lefties. Had a pretty good outing going down in Cincinnati. 4 runs and no hit ball. Then the wheels kind of came off. They had that 10-run 5th inning.
And Tulowitzki starts it off here. Tulowitzki was 1 for 3, homered in the ball game last night. His 4th with the Blue Jays. It'll be hammered back out of play.
Actually, I thought he hit a pretty good pitch off of Matt Boyd, and there's a changeup down the way. He just stayed with it. Talked to Brad Ausmus about it this morning, and really nothing you can do. You got to tip your cap sometimes. You hate to do it, but overall, he had a pretty good pitch out of the park.
Boyd allowed 3 home runs to the Jays last night, but a lot of major league pitchers are doing that. It's fouled back out of play on 2. On Troy Tulowitzki. Farmer had that no-hitter going into the 5th inning in that last start that Gibby talked about. Then the wheels just came off. The bullpen could not hold Cincinnati. It's that makeup game on Monday. Bouncing ball, third base side, foul. Tulowitzki was involved in that trade for Jose Reyes, who went the other way, and he certainly has, I think, tightened up things defensively for the Jays at short.
That's a pretty aggressive trade. I was a little surprised they signed Reyes to a long-term deal and then traded him away for Tulo as he goes down on strikes. You got to go back and look at this catch on Victor Martinez. With me and Kinsler on first, if he doesn't catch us, we get a run, and he knows he's got to pay the price. He's right on the screen right there, but he didn't shy up at all, and good thing he wasn't in Wrigley Field.
No, he'd be on his back right now still.
We'd have a delay. It's going good. Everybody's playing well, playing relaxed.
And David Price, who will not make a start in this series. The Tigers will miss him, but since coming over to the Jays has put up impressive numbers. 4-0 record, ERA sub-2. Here's the foul back out of play.
That came right at us. See me how ready I was?
You were, man. You had your glove hand up.
Yeah, both of them. Both glove hands.
0-2 on Donaldson. 35 homers for Josh Donaldson. One of them came last night. He'll slice out into right field, base hit. And he goes the other way against Farmer.
This guy is red hot. Hit a good pitch out last night. This ball really runs in, and watch him bring his hands in here. You not recognize it, keeps his hands in there. Doesn't exactly barrel it, but hits it pretty good the other way down into the right fielder. Not with the single. You're going good. Everything looks big. The ball looks like a watermelon. Hands are really lively. Getting good results as Josh Donaldson is.
Here's Bautista. 31 home runs this year. Ball 1 from Farmer.
Notice Buck Farmer's, he's missed a couple of his spots into these dangerous guys like Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion. You really got to watch that. They'll make you pay.
2 out of 3 last night for Bautista. And he backs away from a bender outside. 2-0. 81 walks this year, which ties him now with Carlos Santana for the league lead. Now Farmer ready with the 2-0. Swing and a miss.
Boy, let that go. We caught up with Bautista in warm-ups today. You get a little older, you get a little smarter. Interesting kind of yoga-like stretching exercises, and you got to do these things to keep yourself stretched out. Now 34 years old. Want to avoid those intercostal pulls, hamstring pulls, etc.
Inter what?
Intercostal.
Oh, okay.
You know what that is?
No, I don't. Swing and a miss.
I didn't say intercoastal.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
So intercostal.
We head to Clearwater.
That's the side muscle on by the ribs.
Oh,
you know that. You don't want one of those. It's an 8-weeker on the DL.
2-2 on Bautista.
You're all over my dictionary, aren't you?
Just was asking a question. It is a pretty deep dictionary, though, I will admit. Here's the 2-2, and it's a good block there by McCann. 3-2.
Looks to me like Bautista really picking up Farmer's secondary pitches well.
Waiting on deck, another guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, Encarnacion.
Josh Donaldson does have 5 steals, might be on the move. Doesn't have a very big lead, though.
Not moving, and there's the ball inside as Bautista gets a walk, his 82nd of the year. Here's the Tigers defensive alignment presented by Beaumont Health. Ghosts in center field, flanked by Davis and Tyler Collins, who gets just his 4th start of the season at right. V-Mart, Castellanos on the corners, Iglesias, Kinsler, your double play connection, and McCann and Farmer, the battery today. Early scoring chance now for the Jays as Edwin Encarnacion stands in. .23 gamer going, longest streak in the major leagues this year. Donaldson, Bautista, the base runners. And a strike on the outer edge. Encarnacion has not only hit safely in 23 straight, but he's been on base in 28 straight games. Snap throw back down to first.
Good try right there by James McCann. Trying to get out of this inning without having to face Encarnacion. Man on first and second, tried to throw behind. Jose Bautista was alert down there and back safely.
Drill deep to left field. To the track, to the wall, and gone. 3-run shot, Edwin Encarnacion. And a 24-game hitting streak.
This is not a very good pitch. It's just what we call a cement mixer. It's just a breaking ball. It's just right over the heart of the plate. Doesn't do much. And these Blue Jays, they recognize those pitches and they make you pay, as he does right here. Ball's got to be a chase pitch running off the plate. Blue Jays take a 3-0 lead.
4th home run of the series already for the Jays. 3-0 Toronto here in the first.
And another walk scores as well.
Yep, an opposite field single and a walk.
Yeah, the pitch on Donaldson, pretty good pitch. Donaldson, got to give him credit on that one. You hate the walks and then the mistake pitch for the home run.
Blue Jays now lead the league with 177 home runs. Justin Smoke did not play last night, or at least did not start last night. Came on defensively and made a nice scoop at first base. Smoke this year has hit 13 homers, batting just .218, but defensively really good at first base.
Here's a guy who came up with Texas and was a high prospect. Just a little surprised they traded him.
That's down the right field line. Got to go to the wall. And Smoke on his way to second. There might be a play. Here's a throw, not in time. 2-out double for Smoke. Checking a 1-out double for Smoke.
Again, in the middle of the plate, a little too much elevation. Justin Smoke all over this in the corner. It's just a double any way you look at it. And Jeff Jones is out to have a little conversation with Buck Farmer.
Farmer had such a terrific start in his last outing in Cincinnati, and has been much different today.
Yeah, they just too much middle of the plate, too predictable. His last start, getting the ball down more and being able to hit the spots on both sides. But hey, we're in the first inning here. He's got the ability to get back on track, get deep into this game.
Russell Martin did not play last night. Batting .240 with 15 long balls. And he'll look at a strike. A much needed night off last night for Martin, who's been hampered by a leg injury most of this month. Veteran catcher who's done a terrific job of handling this Toronto staff. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Martin, who right now is in the throes of a 5 for 51 stretch.
Boy, good thing about being a catcher, you can't think about it.
That's
you
right.
Got to catch.
You got a game to call. Farmer's 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Buck Farmer up to 24 pitches already.
Here's the 2-1. Bouncing ball to short. They're going to come to third with it. Castellanos will apply the tag as Smoke is thrown out easily at third base.
As he plays for Jose Iglesias is right there in front of him. If you're a runner on second base, you need to make sure it's behind you, not in front of you. Nick gets over there. Cut down the runner that's going to be in scoring position. Smart play.
So Smoke is out easily. Ben Revere will stand in now. .299 average overall with the Blue Jays. .302. It's been a nice addition for Toronto. Sometimes we make a lot of the big additions for teams, like a guy like David Price, but it's the ancillary parts that can be just as important.
Absolutely, and we already saw a play that he contributed in the top of the first on the catch. This guy runs well, puts a lot of pressure on the opponent. Hits lefties pretty good too. Always hits lefties. He's got the ability to get jammed and just get out of that box quickly and keep the line moving, trying to get it back up to the top. So it's a valuable piece for any lineup.
Runner goes. McCann's throw on target. See you later. James McCann cuts down Martin. Inning over. Another rocket thrown by McCann.
Boy,
that'll be it for the Jays.
Right on the money.
3-0 Toronto after 1. And so Drew Hutchison, who has normally gotten a lot of good run support, enjoying some more early on here today. Nick Castellanos leads it off. It'll be Castellanos, Collins, McCann against the righty. And it's in there for a strike. 0-1. Nick 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Castellanos. Nick 15 homers this year.
Well, the Tigers had a pretty good outing on July 3rd against Hutchinson, so they could score runs. They scored what, 6 or 7 off, and then they lost to the Tigers 8-6 on that day.
Well, Hutchinson in that start gave up 10 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned. Now the thing is, that was the last time he was defeated. He's either had a win or a no decision since that start on July the 3rd. Castellanos hammers it foul. 1-2 the count. Nick last year had 66 RBIs, so he is just 3 shy of his entire total from last year.
Yeah, he'll go by that, and moved up in the lineup today because J.D. Martinez getting a day off. Only the 3rd one of the year so far.
In the air to shallow right center field. Tough play. Gonna fall in. Base hit. Just out of the reach of Ryan Goins. Leadoff man on.
Good job at J.D. staying through this ball. Gets it off the end of the bat. It's a tough catch. Looking at the outfielder in general, you want the outfielder to call that ball and run all the way through. But Bautista does not call it, and Goins can't make the catch.
Single for Castellanos, snaps an 0 for 10 slump. Now Tyler Collins will stand in. Strike 1 on Collins. Just his 4th start in right field this year for the Tigers. .257 for Tyler. The 0-1. Well, Hutchison's ERA has been relatively high. It's north of 5. The month of August, he's been much better. His ERA is 2.89 in August. Collins swings right through it. 92 on the gun, up the letters.
Well, there you see the best records with pitchers of a 5 ERA or better. Drew Hutchinson's on top, 12-2. Not even going to try and say the bottom guy from Atlanta. You say it.
Fultonevich. And it's a soft line drive foul down the left field line. Castellanos will retreat. So JD gets the day off today, as Brad has been kind of spreading around his days off. Gave Kinsler a day off, Iglesias a day off. Two balls, 2 strikes. McCann will be next. Tigers got a hit in the 1st inning, single by Kinsler, but a couple of deep fly balls ended that frame. And the 2-2. Another foul back out of play. We're calling for another sellout here today, but a lot of open seats in the upper deck. Still a really good gathering.
A lot of traffic outside, though. Really surprised when we walked back last night, the amount of people in the downtown area. It's lively again, like it was way back in the 90s when the Blue Jays last were in the playoffs. It's amazing. Doesn't seem that long.
Collins takes inside, and the count fills now 3-2. Hutchison this year is 10-1 at home. And his ERA is under 3. On the road, a much different story.
Why is that? We had that conversation yesterday.
Yeah, with R.A. Dickey, we wondered why his numbers are much better at home. And another foul. I mean, you're talking about an ERA of 9 on the road and 2.97 at home.
Well, I gave you my explanation. I think it's just the comfort. You feel really good on the mound. It's not foreign. It's fixed the same way all the time. Got your home fans, slept in your home bed. Makes a difference.
And again, the 3-2, another foul. So Collins, if nothing else, is battling here. And driving up the pitch count, a 9-pitch at bat for Tyler Collins. Another ground ball foul. It's turning into quite an at bat.
Tyler battling 10 pitches. Wow. Now Nick has not been going on the 3-2 count, but maybe this time.
And there he goes. And it's flared down the left field line. Again, foul. And Castellanos on the run. Meanwhile, Hutchison gets a new baseball, trying to regroup as he steps behind the mound.
Now, I've been watching Hutchinson, and I got a little tip on how to get a good jump on him. We'll try and get it to you here in short order.
That didn't take long.
Well, I've been sitting here watching it, and he moves his elbows first.
Runner goes again, swing and a miss, throw down to second base. Tag out. Strike him out, throw him out. Russell Martinez at 36%, and he nailed Castellanos.
And you're hoping for contact when you send Nick Castellanos on a 3-2 count. And he's really hung out right here. Not a base stealer. Tyler Collins, but he's had a 12-pitch at bat. You think that he's gonna, but swings and misses and double play.
Did he tag him here?
Looked like he did.
Apparently, because there's no challenge.
Got him high, but he was so far away from the bag.
Yeah. He got him. That last replay was pretty conclusive. So with 2 outs, here's McCann. James batting .266. Fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's first time through the order. A lot of balls off the inside part of the bat by the Tigers. This kid must have a sneaky fastball. Have to make the adjustment on the second time around.
Bouncing ball to third, fair ball down to his knees. Donaldson, nice play. He came to a skidding stop, and just like that, the inning is over. No runs and a hit, nobody left. A nice play by Donaldson. Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's Steak and Egg Burritos. Here come the Blue Jays now, taking their second swings against Buck Farmer. Bottom three: Rivera, Pilar, Goins. Martin was thrown out trying to steal back in the first, so a new count now for Rivera, who starts things off in the bottom of inning number 2. 8-game hitting streak for Ben Rivera. Farmer's 1-0. Ripped down the right field line. It's going to get down and go to the corner. Rivera is on his way to second. Dug up by Collins. He's going to hold with a double. A leadoff two-base hit for Ben Rivera. 4 hits already for Toronto.
Still finding too much in the middle of the plate right here. Rivera really turns on this ball down into the right field corner, and he can really run. Now when he rounded second base or first base, looking over his shoulder to see where they wanted to go. You usually want to pick up your third base coach there. Tyler Collins gets it in quickly and shuts him down for a double.
Kevin Pilar fouls one back. Batting in the 8th slot today for the Blue Jays. Pilar had a nice night last night. A couple of hits, stole a base. He has been really good defensively this year for the Blue Jays. Time called now. Of the 4 hits already for the Jays, 3 have been for extra bases. The 0-1. Soft little looper towards second. Kinsler records the out, 1 away. Well, get your tickets to see the Tigers battle the Rays on Labor Day at 1:08 p.m. Only $9.07, courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. Offer available exclusively at tigers.com/diamond deals and expires at 10 p.m. Enter the coupon code FS Detroit. High $1.07. Pretty good.
Not bad.
Here's Ryan Goins.
Want to keep an eye on Ben Rivera. He will take it. He'll take third base if you don't pay attention to him.
Back up the middle. Iglesias can't get it under his glove into center field. Rivera will score, and it's an RBI single for Ryan Goins. It looked like Iggy was going to get there and save a run. It just got under his glove.
Well, it looked like he thought he had it. I'm not sure. It may have hit the dirt here. It skipped and stayed down. Hit the dirt just by second base and stayed down, and that got it into center field.
Yeah, I think you're right. It kind of scooted once it hit the dirt.
And we had a good view of it right here. It looked like it was going to bounce up to him. Did not. Blue Jays played another run.
4-0 ball game now, and the top of the order coming up, Troy Tulowitzki. 4 runs on 5 hits. Bouncing ball to first, off the glove of Martinez into short right field. Goins on his way to third. He is in there safely, and now the Jays have runners at the corners. Really wouldn't hit all that hard.
No, the cue shot actually has got a lot of spin on it. You got to watch these Blue Jays. We talked about how they get hits in groups and clusters right off the end of the bat. I think it just had some type of funny spin on it. You see Victor right there, bounced up, looks like it hit the seam. Goings on to third. Tulo gets the hit. First and third, 1 out for Toronto.
And now quickly on the phone goes Gene Lamont, in touch with the Tigers bullpen. 4-0. Jays have the lead. Here's Donaldson. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Donaldson a single the other way back in the first inning, which helped set up the 3-run homer by Encarnacion. Low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's action already in the Tigers bullpen. Guido Knudsen warming up.
Kind of a casual pace he's got going there. I mean, I think you want to get ready a little quicker.
That is popped up right side of the infield. Martinez foul ground into the sunlight, and the runners will hold. Big out there. 2 gone now. Runners hold at first and third. Here's Bautista. Walked in his first at bat.
And he scored. And the home run from Encarnacion.
Ball 1 missing outside to Bautista. His 4th consecutive year now of 30 or more home runs. Only been a couple of Blue Jays that have done that over the years, including Carlos Delgado and the great Joe Carter. Ooh, he showed bunt that time, pulled it back.
Well, you got first and third. If you can catch the Tigers by surprise, you played a run. You got man on first and second. Maybe not a bad play. Certainly not going to expect it from a guy like Bautista. Ability to hit the ball out of the park the way he does.
Here's the 2-0 pitch coming. Swing and a miss by Bautista. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Player that lets it go right here. He's up in the count. Misses it, guessing strike. Good pitch by Buck Farmer right there. Good call by James McCann.
Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Jays 2 out of 5 today with men in scoring position. Goins and Tulowitzki, the base runners, fouled off. Full count now, 3-2 on Jose Bautista. He showed you that Bautista likes to stretch before the game quite a bit. He continues to do that even during his at-bats.
Are you a big stretcher?
I wasn't, but I'm becoming more and more of a stretcher.
Yeah, it'll make you feel better, everybody that's watching and listening.
Recognizing the benefits. Runner goes on 3-2, rolled foul, and almost hit the runner at third base Goins.
And it doesn't take very long. I mean, just 5 minutes a day.
Yeah,
you probably
absolutely
find 5 minutes a day, couldn't you?
I do actually about 10 minutes worth a day.
Well, you start at 5, and you go to 10, then it turns into something longer, and then you're really feeling good.
Count stays full, 3-2. High fly ball. Left field. Rajay Davis staring into the sky to make the catch. And that is all for Toronto. They settled for 1 run. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Now at the ballpark, Ben Revere led it off with a double in the bottom of the second and eventually scored a run. And the Jays have added to their total now for Drew Hutchison. It'll be Iglesias, Davis, Goins against the Toronto right-hander. And Iglesias looks at strike one. 0 for 2 in last night's ball game for Jose. He did have a walk. In fact, he scored on the Goins home run. That was late in the ball game last night. It came in the 7th inning. One ball, one strike. Flared toward right field. That's going to dive and drop for a base hit.
Good to have the leadoff man on. We're going to try and get this. I'm going to show you what they say. There's different keys you can look at from a pitcher. Now, normally you're looking here, here, or the front hip. And watch Hutchison. The first thing to move is his elbow, and that'll get you from about a 1-3, 1-2. We're going to go with slow motion. Watch the elbows move first. It just gives you about another 3/10 of a second. That's the difference between being out and safe. Let's see if Iglesias tries to get a bag.
Rajay the batter. Ball one to Davis.
Dwight Gooden used to do that as well. He used to move the elbows first. It was the first thing to move. You're always trying to see, as a base runner, base stealer, what moves first on the pitcher. You're trying to watch that front side, whether he's going to pick over to first or whether he's going home.
Ball two to Rajay Davis, 2-0. Another former Blue Jay. Rajay played here in 2011, 12, and 13 before joining the Tigers last year. Waiting on the 2-0 offering from Hutchison. And he'll swing and foul it right into the glove. 2-1.
Just so I can want to make sure I'm clear on that. Normally, the knee, the hip, or the foot is what you would normally key on, and that would move first. I'm suggesting to look up into that elbow. As soon as you see it move, it goes just a split second before the leg.
Now 3 balls, 1 strike. Goins waiting on deck.
I hope the Tigers stay aggressive. Iglesias on a good chance here. If he does go, he can make it.
Fly ball right field. Bautista into the sun. Can't get it. It'll drop in. Iglesias will go to third base. The throw comes back into second, and Bautista had trouble with it from the get-go.
Well, he's had some troubles out there in right field. I saw where he overran one in Texas just the other day. There's the sun ball. He's got his glasses on. You can see his glove. He's trying to cover his eyes with the glove, but he doesn't really do a very good job of it. Iglesias reads it pretty good. You would expect this ball to be caught. Raji gets caught, maybe not thinking that it might be a sun ball, and he remains at first base. A good break for the Tigers here.
It'll be ruled a single.
Yeah.
Now, here's Goins.
Well, again, I was talking about the LK line number 6 darks.
Right.
That would help you on that ball right there.
Goins looks at a strike on the outer edge. Bautista right now still staring into the sunlight. He had his glove up minutes ago trying to gauge that sun. It was cloudy and overcast at the start of the game. Now the sun has been able to burn through the clouds. Goins hammers it foul. 0-2.
Well, good speed on the bases for the Tigers right here. Get him to hit a gapper and get Raji home from first base. Hutchison pretty quick on the last one, 125. That's marginal whether you can go or not. You know Raji wants to go.
Another foul back out of play by Goins. who slammed a homer late in the game last night. We mentioned the 7th inning 2-run shot, which scored Iglesias ahead of him. 4th home run of the year for Anthony. After spending parts of 3 years here at Rogers Center in his home ballpark, member of the Jays. Swing and a miss, and Hutchison dusted him in 93. 1 gone. Second strikeout for Hutchison. If the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Came close last night, hit 2 home runs. Kinsler had 1 of them, and he steps in now.
Yeah, we need to break out here and get the package for everybody right here. Let's do it in this inning.
Kinsler had a single in the first.
Yeah, his singles, he's barreling them too. They're not bouncers.
Everything off of Kinsler's bat these days, even some of the outs, are hit fairly sharply.
On the line as well.
He is on pace for nearly 200 hits. He's on pace right now for 197, which would be a career high. He skies that one toward right. It's going to get back in the seats.
Well, we were talking about last night the home runs. Ian Kinsler hits on the jumps on this knuckleball in the first inning. Put the Tigers up 1-0. Just a real good sound coming out of his bat these days.
Leading the American League with 157 hits.
50 multi-hit games. And he really has reinvented himself this year coming to spring training. I remember we did that game in spring training where he had 4 hits the opposite way against the shift. And most teams started the shifting early in the year, but not many late in the year.
Did he go? Yes, he went around. Kinsler did not appreciate that call from Bob Davidson.
Yeah, I think he went. Well, Bob Davidson down at first base down there, he's been known to keep things moving.
Now the 0-2. Outside, Kinsler would not go fishing there. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ian.
Raji faked to go to second on the stolen base, but Hutchison did a good job of quick pitching him, shut it down very smartly.
Russell Martin behind the dish caught Castellanos on a strike him out, throw him out back in the second. That's fouled away.
Now, pitchers are supposed to have a distinct stop when they come into the set position. I think Hutchison's borderline right now. Supposed to stop at the top there, have a clear separation. Bob Davison's the guy that will call it over there at first base. His nickname is Balkan Bob Davison.
I love that nickname. Yeah, that's a really quick stop. I mean, that's barely a stop.
You love that name unless he's calling the Balkan.
Yeah, good point.
Not really a stop. They had a couple of real good encounters with Mr. Davison over the years.
Were they colorful?
Oh yeah.
2-2. Another throwback.
See, I would have my first base coach remind him that onerous nickname he has. You know, he might be balking right here. Not really coming to a stop. Don't let him do that to you, Bob. That's a stop.
Runner goes. Ground ball back up the middle. We're going to get one. It's safe at second base. Throw to first is in time, but a run will score. Rajai Davis was on the move, and that saved a double play.
Yeah, he didn't slide. That was tough. He got in there and then stopped without the slide. That's impressive. Good jump. Had a very colorful conversation with Raji this morning. He's always got energy, boy. Brings it every day. That hustle right there gets the Tigers a run.
Kinsler gets an RBI. 4-1 ball game. I don't think I've ever seen Rajai Davis have a bad day, whether he's in the lineup or not. Smiling, bouncing around the clubhouse.
You probably know a few other people like that.
Here's Cabrera. Miggy sends a soft ground ball to first base. That'll get him out of the inning. Smoke tags the bag for the out. Tigers settle for 1 run, but they're on the board. We go to the bottom of the third.
Encarnacion, after a 2-out walk to Jose Bautista, got a 1-1 pitch. So we have a. Let's see, that's the
Rivera play. They threw a curveball there, Gibby.
Yeah, that was a screwball actually.
It's even better than a curveball.
I had to learn how to use it. I hit it before.
Here is Encarnacion. Well, that was a good play anyway, I suppose. And then it's ripped foul down the third base line. Nice play on the carom there.
Good to be humbled. Always good for you.
Well, the Encarnacion home run happened in the first, a 3-run shot. He'll foul that one back out of play, and the count now on Encarnacion 1-2. 4 home runs in the series now for Toronto. Edwin extending his hitting streak to 24 consecutive games. Drilled toward right field. Ball is hit well. Collins on the move, off his glove and against the wall. Encarnacion will rumble into second base, and he's in there standing up. Collins going to the gap. Looked like he had a beat on the ball.
I think this ball might have tailed back at him. He might have overrun it just a little bit. You see, he's coming back towards the foul line there at the end, and it is bright out there. Maybe he lost it a little bit, but definitely a ball that should be caught. Nevertheless, Encarnacion is on with the 2-base hit.
And Buck Farmer says, "Oh man, you're going to call that an E9."
He gave him an error, huh?
He gave him an error. Here is Justin Smoke. Ball 1 to Smoke.
Yeah, Manny Gonzalez is a tight zone back there today.
Looks like he's having a conversation now with McCann. McCann questioning that last pitch, I think, and Gonzalez waving his head no, he missed. It's one of the nuances of the game as well. Some of the conversations that a catcher will have with the umpire, they're not really detectable.
We're still talking about it. Yep. You don't want it to be detected, because if you are detected, then umpires tend to react a little bit differently. You want to get your point across, and hopefully they'll give it some consideration.
Smoke takes outside, 2-1.
I think with all the cameras and everything that we have to provide all the different shots, it's a little harder to get away with anything, especially there at home plate between catcher and umpire.
Here's the 2-1. Inside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Justin Smoke these days is wearing number 13. He was wearing number 14, but then when the Jays traded for David Price, Price asked for number 14 and got it. No word on what the compensation was for Justin Smoke. A watch?
Yeah, maybe standard Rolex or something.
There's David Price. And to give up something, though. Whistled back out of play. 3-2.
Maybe he just did it from the kindness of his heart.
Well, that's happened in the past, hasn't it?
No, but if I was doing it, that'd probably be the reason.
Smoke apparently asked for a truck. Not a watch, but a truck.
With big wheels on it.
Here's the 3-2, and he lost in ball 4. 2 out, nobody out. We check in with John Keating.
You know, there was a very cool moment before the game. 8-year-old Hannah Levinson sang the 2 anthems here, the U.S. first and then the Canadian national anthem, and she nailed them. And I don't think I've ever seen this before. As she was coming off the field, there were a host of Tigers, including Miguel Cabrera, there to meet her and say, well done, way to go. High fives for Hannah Levinson as she was coming off the field. It's a team thing down here, guys.
Well, it is, and that's pretty impressive. You're talking about an 8-year-old girl who sang not only the American national anthem, but the Canadian as well, in front of, what, 30,000 plus. Pretty impressive.
Yes, and did it efficiently.
Yes, quickly, flawlessly. There's a chopper hit to the shortstop. Iglesias high hop, throws to second, one, relay to first. Here's a double play.
Well, that was a tough play there. Iglesias got a nasty hop. Talked about the turf, how it's bouncy. He comes in and gets right up underneath this ball, and it takes a bad hop right there. Watch it. Topspin on it. Runner's trying to screen him. He's got such a quick exchange, and Kinsler right position. Guy goes right by the runner.
That was anything but routine.
Yeah, easily could have went over his head. If you're a runner, sometimes you try and screen the fielder. You saw, I think it was Bautista last night, jump over a ball.
Then Rivera now with 2 outs. Rivera had a double to get things started back in the second, scored on a single by Goins. That extended his hitting streak to 9 in a row. He's trying to score Encarnacion here. And he missed again, 2-0. Rivera picked up on July 31st from the Phillies. We remember Ben in the Central Division with the Minnesota Twins for 3 seasons. Here's the 2-0.
He's a guy, I don't think he strikes out too much. He's always scrappy, always getting a piece of the ball. Gets 2 strikes on him. Does the chop and runs very well.
The chop? Is anything like the cha-cha?
No, the chop.
Oh, okay. Outside, now it's 3-1. Farmer ready with the 3-1 pitch. It's Fouled off the catcher. 3-2. Buck Farmer got the big double play ball and was looking like the Jays might have the makings of another big inning. Still got to finish it off though now and get Rivera. Kevin Pillar waiting on deck. And the 3-2. Soft line drive to center, base hit. That'll get a run in. Ben Rivera is 2 for 2 with an RBI, and it's 5-1 Toronto.
I tell you, the Blue Jays very efficient in getting their guys in. Here you got 2 outs, ball down on the outside corner. He just has good length. Look at, he stays with that ball, just right up the middle. Plates it, make it 5-1.
Now you got to keep an eye on him as well at first base. 2-out hit makes it a 4-run lead again for the Blue Jays. There's Kevin Pillar. Little pop up to the second baseman in his first at bat. Blue Jays now have 5 runs on 7 hits in this game. Pitch out, but nothing going on. Tigers thought that Rivera might be on the move there.
The Blue Jays scored all their runs with 2 outs?
No, the run in the second came with 1 out. Foul straight back. Often wonder why guys don't go after a pitch out, because how often do you see guys pitch out twice in a row?
Yeah, not very often. There are some managers that will do it, but you know, they're still, if they pitch out, they're still paying attention to you. So I think Buck Farmer's pretty quick time to the plate, giving McCann a good opportunity to throw him out, and they respect James McCann's arm to begin with.
And it got away from Martinez. Rivera might go to third. He's going to head there. Here comes the throw. And Castellanos had to backhand that ball. Rivera goes all the way to third. He won.
Well, Buck Farmer just trying to be a little quicker than he can be. So it's just a tough throw for Victor over there at first base. Rivera's taking 3 all the way. He gets up very quickly. He cuts some corners pretty good.
One and 2 on Kevin Pillar. Fouled away, fought that one off. One ball, 2 strikes. Lifted down the left field line, back out of play. Buck Farmer now here in the third has totaled up 65 to the pitch count.
Yeah, lots of pitches. Nobody's up in the bullpen. They're going to let him go out there and figure it out for himself.
22 in this inning.
Yeah, 27 in the first. Looks like he had 16 in the second.
Grounded to short. Iglesias comes away with it, and that is that. However, they get another run. Now the RBI hit by Rivera. has a 2.48 ERA in 15 career starts.
Yeah, it seems like young kids are coming up into the game right now at an amazing pace, and just an amazing start.
Clayton Kershaw, well, we know what he can do, and he's just continuing to do that. Jack Zarensik, you surprised at all by that?
I think there was a lot of talk about it. It seems like when that starts to happen, that generally it comes to fruition.
So here come the Tigers now. Martinez leads it off, and Victor rolls one towards second base. Goins has it, and one pitch, one out. 5-1 ball game. Toronto in the lead in this one. And Castellanos will step in. You saw a lot of Kershaw over in the National League. How impressive is that guy?
He's good, and he's a guy who just keeps wanting to get better and does get better. All aspects of his game. He's a bulldog for sure. Butted heads a few times being his opponent, and he's going to engage you if you're his opponent. Just the way he plays the game.
Castellanos had a single in the second, which broke an 0 for 11 or make an 0 for 10 spell. Hutchison now with the 0-1. Thought about it. Oh, we went around. Really?
Oh yeah.
0-2.
I didn't think he went there. Pretty close.
I don't know about that.
Well, when in doubt with Big Bob down there, Bob Davison, you're gonna get the right arm.
The 0-2.
I think just watching Hutchison and kind of fastball has a little bit of life to it. And that slider to the righties. Really a two-pitch pitcher so far.
A little bit outside.
And as I said that, he threw a changeup.
Well, can you be an effective major league pitcher with just two pitches?
Well, I think when you're looking at the bullpen more so, and there are some that can, but eventually I think you got to come up with a third pitch to be a starter for a long time in the game.
Fill it now 3-2. Unless, of course, one of those pitches is so dominant.
Yeah. Like we saw Roberto Osuna last night. He was pretty much fastball slider, and he's a closer, but that was really electric stuff.
Castellanos rolls it foul. Osuna last night made quick work of the Tigers after falling behind 3-0 in the first hitter. He threw nothing but strikes after that.
Yep, just mowed us down.
Again, the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Castellanos strikes out, 2 away. It is time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag DetroitDataStrongFan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Just had a suggestion that Mariano Rivera had one pitch. He was a closer.
He's a closer. We're talking about starters, though, more specifically.
The guy that I managed down in Arizona, Daniel Hudson. He's got a fastball changeup, but now has developed a slider. I just think you're going to have at least 3 over the long haul.
Just always keep thinking back to Jeremy Bonderman and his inability to develop that changeup. He had a great fastball and slider. He just could not get the feel for the change. That's going to be out to right field for Bautista. No issues that time. A 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the 4th on the way. bottom of the fourth inning. The Tigers right-hander Buck Farmer has not been able to stop the Jays to this point. Well, they've scored in every inning.
Yeah, the Jays have just continued to get the big hit. I mean, they hit the home run in the first inning. You get a guy in scoring position, and they've gotten him in very efficient. Not able to make the pitch.
Yeah, they've gotten some production out of the bottom of the lineup too, which is something you talked about in the ball game last night. This is a team that has done a good job of turning the lineup over.
They have. I read a stat. Their 7 through 9 hitters lead the 196 runs scored, and that's first in the American League, and their on-base percentage is on top. So it is important that your lineup continues to roll, and of course the guys at the top of their lineup are so dominating, and they can hit the ball out of the park. Certainly adds to a productive outcome for them.
Ryan Goins leading it off, and he looks at a strike on the outer edge. 1-2. Goins had an RBI single out of the 9 spot back in the second, extending his hitting streak to 8 consecutive games. Tulowitzki waiting on deck. He'll get fouled back out of play.
These 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Blue Jays today have 2 RBI and a run scored.
Goins playing second base. They had Devin Travis, who came over here from the Tigers in the Anthony Ghost deal, but Travis has been shut down because of a bad shoulder.
Yeah, I think he said he was out for the season.
Bouncing right back up the middle, right by Farmer into center field. 2 for 2 for Goins. Hey, get your tickets to see the Tigers take on the Rays on Labor Day at 108 for only $9.07, courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. Offer available exclusively at Tigers.com/diamond deals, and it expires at 10 p.m. Enter the coupon code FS Detroit. Can't beat $9.07. Take advantage.
$9.06.
All right. Yeah, well, I figured you'd
I
say
thought
that.
you were talking to me.
Here's Tulowitzki. A single and a strikeout for Tulowitzki, and he looks at ball 1.
Goins not much of a threat over at first. No steals. Do have action.
Guido Knudsen was warming up earlier. He is warming up again. Tulowitzki came over with LaTroy Hawkins in that deal that involved Jose Reyes going the other way. Good block by McCann, keeping the runner at first base.
Here's our high-speed pitch, brought to you by Xfinity. 93 miles an hour for Buck Farmer, a low of 77. Do you come to the ball games? You watch the radar clock a lot?
I do. I find it interesting.
I think many do.
Fouled back out of play. We're talking about LaTroy Hawkins coming over in the Tulowitzki deal, and he's one of those ancillary parts we were talking about earlier that can make an impact. And LaTroy Hawkins has an ERA of under 1 since coming over to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and I read where he's really bonded with their young closer, the 20-year-old, and that adds, no question about it.
So while the Tulowitzkis and the Prices, those are the big names that have come over. Rivera has been able to help them out. So has Hawkins.
I know LaTroy came up at a very young age in 1995 for the Twins, so he understands what the youngsters are going through, and you're always trying to move them along quickly.
They're booing. Give me their booing.
Do another. Looks like Guido's ready.
Pretty good size lead by Goins. One step on the turf and a swing and a miss. 2-2 on Tulowitzki. So Buck now is up to 75 in the pitch count. Donaldson waiting on deck. Then it's Bautista.
Yeah, normally a guy who's under 80 pitches or under 100 pitches when he pitches anyway, usually in the 80s and the 90s, so he's not used to going too much further beyond.
Full count, 3-2. Farmer originally had his contract purchased last August by the Tigers, made his major league debut against the Pirates. Of course, was an A-ball at the beginning of last year, made a terrific leap in the Tiger system.
Yeah, he's still young. If he doesn't get this hitter here, though, I think he'll be coming out of the game.
Runner goes, and it's a strike call. Throw down to second. He's not in time. Tulowitzki's out of there. A stolen base for Goins.
Well, when you're a catcher and you have a 3-2 count, you got to make sure you hold the glove long enough, and James has to do that. And then I don't think you got a good exchange here. See the ball runs. Didn't get a good grip on that ball. Look, you can see he's got kind of a change-up grip. Goins in safely at second.
Now Josh Donaldson. When Donaldson homered in the ball game last night, the MVP chants were starting to filter down from the sellout crowd, and Donaldson certainly is among the leaders, if not the leader in the clubhouse right now for that award.
Yeah, he certainly is, and some people have a hard time understanding why Oakland would have traded him.
All he has done since coming over to Toronto is hit 35 homers, leads the league with 102 RBI.
Well, we were talking about good try. We were talking about the GM rankings. I was just reading one day, and they ranked Alex Anthopoulos 29th. And Billy Beane was number 1. But number 1 traded Donaldson to number 29.
Number 1 and 29 would probably happily switch spots in the standings.
Number 28 is Sandy Alderson, whose team also is in first place.
Strike call.
So when you read these articles, there might be currently an opinion, but right now that article that I read was somewhat obsolete. 28, 29, both their teams are in first place. Number 1 not so good. It's just tough to compete.
They don't give out a trophy for winning the offseason, do they?
No, they don't.
Or the perception of winning the offseason.
It's good to get excited, but it's good to get to the season and play it out.
Way outside, 1-2. Donaldson a single and a pop-up in this game.
Well, he's hit everything the Tigers have thrown at him. Ball's inside, ball's away. Seeing the ball very well right now.
Bautista still stretching. That's in the air to center. Going to chase, goes back, it's carrying on him. He goes all the way to the wall to make that catch.
Gonna get it in.
Ghost thought it was 3 outs, and a runner's going to score. Anthony Ghost thought that was the 3rd out of the inning. And Goins never stopped, and he scores. Man, oh man. (6-1) Toronto.
Well, he goes and gets it. As you said, it's a mental error. Got to know how many outs there are, and hopefully all of their outfielders over there communicating to him. But it's too late. Goins hustling all the way. He realizes, he's got to have your head on a swivel. You never know what's going to happen.
So is that a sacrifice fly?
You're the expert at scorekeeping.
I mean, he scored on a fly ball. It is a sac fly, but no RBI.
I just put an ME in mine.
Oh boy. ME?
Yeah, you can figure it out. Don't say it.
base, strike call.
Some type of error.
Sac fly, put out 8, no RBI. Mental error. Popped him up. McCann lets go of the mask and calls for it. That'll end the inning. Well, they get another run. On the air, mental error by Anthony Goins. In. Here's Wally Joyner.
That's a good job by Wally Joyner, and you know everybody makes mental errors from time to time. Nobody feels worse than Anthony Goins, and you got to pick yourself up, and it's good to hear your teammates say things like that. And this game's wonderful in the way that it gives you chances to redeem yourself, and you don't mean to come down on Anthony, but sometimes you make mistakes, and you got to hope you get another opportunity to have a big comeback.
Here is McCann to lead it off. The bottom three coming up for the Tigers here in the fifth.
That's the thing, fans, you have to realize these players care so much, and you know, it's not like they don't care. They really do care, and nobody's harder on them than themselves.
That's fouled back out of play. 0-2. Anthony's really one of those guys that's so easygoing, very rarely, if ever, shows emotion, and he just went back to the bench. He knew what he did, and just trying to move on. But it did cost the Tigers a run. Now 6-1. Ball high. 1-2. Hutchison has retired 6 in a row. Gave up a run in the third. Had a 1-2-3 fourth. Off the outer edge. 2-2. Iglesias waiting on deck. 7, 8, 9 coming up for the Tigers here in the fifth inning. Get back into the seats. A line drive that goes foul.
Went in the stands hot.
Well, we had the fan at Comerica Park who was injured on the last homestand, and now that has kind of heated up the talk of extending these screens to beyond the dugouts.
Yeah, how far do you extend them? That's always been the question. I know they've had some conversation about it. But, you know, I think overall fans don't want the net, but I think there's more of a movement towards it. And there are different nets aren't as don't block your view as much.
Right. What I'm astounded is that not more people have gotten hurt than have. I mean, with all of the every single night, look out, we're saying there's a line drive into the seats.
Yeah, the ones right over the dugout are probably you have the most risk.
Swing and a miss as McCann upset with himself for chasing. One out here in the 5th. Hey, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to. Miller time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. 4 strikeouts now for Hutchison. That'll bring up Jose Iglesias. Single run scored in the 3rd for Iglesias. Ground ball. It's going to be to the hole. Tulowitzki going to have no shot to throw him out. Infield hit. He's 2 for 2.
Hit it perfect spot right there to the left of Donaldson. In the hole to Tulo. Too much speed by Iglesias, so for Tulo to pull that off again.
Here's Rajai Davis.
Only in the 5th inning here. I still like to see the Tigers be aggressive. You get this base, get it. Got to chip away. Don't want to wait for a base hit and a home run. Force the issue.
That was the 28th infield hit for Jose Iglesias, which is the 3rd highest total in the American League. 2 more hits today for Iglesias.
See him talking to Omar Vizquel right now.
Rajai had a base hit back in the 3rd. Tigers got the first 2 men on in the 3rd and ended up getting a run. That ball lost in the sun by the right fielder Bautista. Fly ball in the air toward right center. And it's going to be Pilar to make the catch. Retreating is Iglesias. 2 gone. Here's Anthony Goins.
You're going to get some conversation from the stands, Anthony, as the rest of the game. Keep reminding him. I can think of several instances in my career where I got it pretty good. And they're right.
Were there certain towns where they let you know more than others?
Yeah. New York, Boston, Oakland, San Francisco. They would make stuff up even if you did good.
No balls, 1 strike. Now you would never ever let them get under your skin, would you?
Yeah, they did, but I tried to show them that they didn't. It's all part of the mental control approach.
In there 0-2 on Goins, who didn't like that last call.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm really pulling for this kid right now. Like to see him redeem himself.
Anthony had 2 hits against Hutchison the first time they met earlier this year, and Hutchison's got him a couple of times in this game. Now the 0-2. Up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Should Goins reach here, then you're going to watch Kinsler come up, and he's been red hot. It would be Cabrera after that. Tigers need to start putting together a couple of hits here, have a big inning.
And picking up their runners when they get into scoring position.
Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Another change up there. Does throw the change up more to the left-handed hitters.
Fouled off.
Boy, way to stay alive there.
This is the most that Ghost has played in a single big league season. He's well above his numbers from last year in terms of at-bats and games played. And as we head to the month of September, kind of uncharted waters here for Anthony Ghost.
Well, he started off red hot, and we've had some injuries and some moves, so he has gotten the opportunity, and it is something to learn about, just like we talk about the pitchers. It's tough for the position players, too.
Bang that one off his leg.
Of course, the Tigers are looking toward next year as well, and trying to figure out, does Anthony Ghost fit into their plans, and under what role. Made that decision around trade deadline time to retool a bit for the rest of this year and the future.
2-2. Drill to center field, a base hit. So Ghost is on with a solid single to center. And it'll put 2 on now for Kinsler.
Attaboy. Ball right down the middle. Just doesn't try to do too much with it. One of the better swings I've seen Anthony Ghost take recently. Nice and calm. Stays up on top of it. Keeps this rally alive. That'll bring up Ian Kinsler.
Kinsler's ground ball scored a run in his last at bat. RBI 61 for Ian. One swing here gets you right back in it. And it's hit back up the middle. Tulowitzki will get the force. That'll end the inning. No runs, couple of hits, and the Tigers strand 2. Tigers baseball from Toronto today, presented by Bell Tire.
In the first inning, Edwin Encarnacion and a 1-1 pitch after a 2-out walk to Jose Bautista goes yard. Ran the Blue Jays out to a 3-0 lead. And here we go again with him.
Got a wall side windows pitching change. Guido Knudsen.
This season with Toledo down there, 40 games, 10 for 12 in save opportunities.
And Knudsen missing inside to the first man he will face, Encarnacion. Edwin 3-run homer got the Blue Jays off and running in the first. Knudsen replaces Farmer. Buck goes 4 innings today. Ground ball to third, ranging right is Castellanos. One away.
So I read when Guido came up the first time, he was a little nervous.
A little nervous.
A little hyped up. So just another one of the young kids coming up, getting some exposure, getting used to pitching up here under the big stage. Got a good lively arm.
Guido was a 28th round selection back in June of 2011. University of California, San Diego. The shift is on for Justin Smoke. By the way, we figured out exactly what David Price gave Smoke for his number.
What did he do?
A hunting rifle.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind?
I don't know. One you can hunt with.
So he likes to.
He's a hunter, apparently. Well, he's from Goose Creek, South Carolina.
So he's a goose hunter?
No, it just sounds like hunting area.
Sure does.
Here's a 2-0. Bouncing ball foul.
Guido, the fact that you look at numbers when players come up here, 10 for 12 with save opportunities, so that's a good schooling down there at AAA, getting on the mound when the game's on the line. Hopefully that has prepared him for good performance here today.
Smoke a double and a walk in this game. Foul back.
Keeping the ball down so far. Got good run on his pitches.
The Jays have scored one in every inning, at least one in every inning. They got 3 in the first. And Knutson now with the 2-2. Outside, 3-2.
Tried the backdoor slider there, starting to pitch off the plate, trying to hit the outside corner, but missed.
Russell Martin on deck. Outside, he lost him. That's another walk for Smoke, his second of the day. Hey, college football returns to Fox and Fox Sports 1 beginning Thursday when former Michigan quarterback Jim Harbaugh makes his debut as head coach of his alma mater and leads the Wolverines against the Utah Utes. And the only place you can see it is on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Russell Martin is 0 for 2.
Looking for a double play here.
He bounced into one in the third. Ball one high.
Tell you what, Russell Martin used to run really good when he first came up in the big leagues.
He
Stole
sure did.
Some bags. Well, you saw him trying to sneak attack us earlier, but got cut down by James McCann.
Swing and a miss. You don't normally see the stolen base numbers that Martin put up earlier in his career from a catcher. Stole 21 one year with the Los Angeles Dodgers. 18 the year after that.
After all the innings catching, though, it slows everybody. Anybody who's a catcher, it's not going to last. Squatting down like that for 9 innings is not an easy deal.
Martin with a sideways look at that last call by Manny Gonzalez.
I think he thought it was a little high.
Just a bit. Here's the 1-2. Popped up foul.
What do you think the over-under is in when we're going to get a foul ball in the booth? They've been coming at us a little bit.
The over-under would be never. I think because of this overhang we have above us here, it's going to be hard to get one.
I'm talking about anywhere in the rest of the season.
See, there we are. It would take a pretty well-placed shot to get it in here. There's a swing and a miss.
Well, we had one close today. Actually, it reminded me of the old Tiger Stadium right field overhang.
Right.
That one that went above the overhang, I thought it was going to come right in here. You actually lose sight of them in the old Tiger Stadium overhang, and then they come back into view. Got to be very quick.
We checked with our stat department. There have been 4 balls that have come into this booth this year alone. So I've been proven wrong apparently. It just seems like a tough angle up here, but apparently it's not.
Yeah. Well, we're right over the plate, so.
Ben Revere. A little bit outside. 1-0 on Revere, has had a big day. Double, single, RBI, run scored. There's our stats department right there. George came up with our statistic of 4 coming in the booth. Just say hi, George. There's a ball outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Just grinding it out over there, trying to get some information.
Right. And we don't do this alone.
Got a truck full of people helping us as well. They do a heck of a job.
2 balls, no strikes on Ben Revere. And a strike on the outer edge.
Rivera, that pitch right there, just about the same pitch he hit for a base hit in an RBI last time around. Likes to dive down and out over the plate.
Runner on with 2 outs. And Revere slaps one foul.
Boy, he hit that ball. He's almost running as he swings. Getting out of the box very quick. But then he starts to hit and he just starts to run almost immediately.
Well, Revere now has a 9-game hitting streak, and in that stretch, 17 for his last 34.
I think that he's somewhat relieved to change teams. Ben Revere was.
Last to first. There's another base hit. It'll be a 3-hit game for Revere. 2 on now with 2 outs.
He puts the bat on the ball, and he's got a lot of movement in his hands, and arms. He drops his bat, brings it back up. He always puts himself in good position to get the bat on the ball. Concentration, eyes on the bat and ball. 3rd hit of the game.
Revere and V-Mart holding a little powwow session. Here's Kevin Pillar now with 2 on and 2 away. Pillar ground out and a pop-up. And it's in there, a strike. Pillar's kind of made himself a name for himself this year based on what he's done defensively. He's made some crazy catches out there in the outfield. In fact, he has 18 defensive runs saved this year, which is among the top numbers in the American League.
Well, that's how you get sponsors. That's how you play. And you're exactly right, Mario. He's been exceptional out there. He does okay offensively. He understands his game. He understands the role. Just an all-around solid, good ball player.
0-2 on Pillar. Also has 10 outfield assists this year.
He's played left field and right field as well as center field. Most of the games are in center field.
And Knudsen with the 0-2. Slapped out of play. Well, with their loss last night to the Blue Jays, the Tigers came in 6.5 out in the wild card. Texas continues to hold on to the 2nd wild card position. New York has the 1st wild card position.
Tigers now what, 9 back?
Well, they came in 8 back. 500, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Just missed outside.
Well, the wild card, it's going to get exciting. I promise you that. It changes every year. See Tampa Bay on the bottom looking in. Minnesota only a half game out. Angels 1.5. We just played them. It's a different type of Angels team than we've seen in the past, I thought.
Little chopper to the shortstop, and Iglesias will fire to second for the force. That'll end the inning. No runs, walk, hit, 2 men left. When we get to the 6th, Miggy leads it off for the Tigers.
Saw Drew Hutchison. That was on July 3rd. On that day, in that game, even though the Tigers won, it was the game in which Miguel Cabrera suffered that severely strained left calf. It cost him 6 weeks on the disabled list. It was in the 4th inning. Miggy had opened with a single, had to come out of the game, and was out of the game for a long, long time after that. But his return from that injury, guys, has been nothing short of astounding.
It really has. Thanks, Keats. And the Tigers actually went on to score 3 runs in that inning, but the loss at Cabrera proved to be extremely costly for this ball club.
Yeah, he's right in the middle of the order. He's MVP guy. You lose him, and it definitely upsets your rhythm. But he's back now, a little bit different deal, and he's been swinging the bat well.
Yeah, as John said, coming off the disabled list, he's been on fire, and coming into this game, 444 since coming off the DL.
He's actually cooled down a little bit. Was over 500. Yeah.
If that's cooling. Here's the 1-1. Miggy looks at a ball outside, 2-1.
I was speculating whether they would go back away. It seems they threw him that first at bat, a lot of pitches inside, and occasionally they mix one in off the plate, but trying to get him to chase away now. Pretty much every at bat.
Oh, that's a direct hit.
Russell Martin didn't even flinch. Manny Gonzalez coming out for the. Let Russell make sure he's okay. Actually, didn't hit him solid. Kind of hit him on the way up.
Just grabbed the mask, look for a baseball. No big deal.
Catchers are tough.
Oh my goodness.
They really are.
Oh, mere mortal, he'd be on his back.
That'll wake you up if you're not awake. I think the one that gets you down by the chin is the one that really gets you. Below the eye holes there.
Here's the 2-2 outside. In your baseball career as a youth, did you ever consider catching?
Well, I was left-handed, but I did. We all had to catch. You know, everybody catches sometime or another, don't they?
Typically.
But
I didn't factor in your left-handedness.
I never begged to do it again.
Here's the 3-2, and he got him strike 3. And Cabrera out on strikes, little look back as he walks away. By the way, get your tickets to see the Tigers battle the Rays on Labor Day at 108 for only $9.07, courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. Offer available exclusively at tigers.com/diamond deals and expires at 10 p.m. So get on it now. Enter coupon code FS Detroit.
907.
907, baby. That's a good number for ticket price.
How they come up with the 907?
because it's on 9/7, September 7th. Get it?
Yep.
Actually, to be honest, I needed to figure that one out myself.
So why on September 7th? Do you think just the date drove it?
Yes. There's a strike call. 1 ball, 1 strike. Victor is 0 for 2, fly out and a ground out. Although his fly ball, I will say this, looked like it had a chance to go in the first inning, and that was that ball that Rivera made a great play on.
Yes, he did. Oh, Victor getting up there in age, and these night to days, I was talking to him before they even went out for batting practice. It's really something you got to really get up early and take your time, get stretched out. Of course, he's playing first base today on the turf, but he loves it. Enjoys playing the game.
Bouncing ball right side. Routine play there for Goins. 2 gone. 1-0 for 3 today for Victor.
Second ground out into the shift.
Here's Castellanos. Nick, a single and a strikeout today. Well, he mentioned that Hutchison has been much better at home this year, and those numbers have followed suit today. Gave up just the 1 run in the 3rd, and that's been it so far.
Pretty good breaker ball right there. More slider early in the game. That had more break than must be feeling it now. Getting the ball out front more, get more depth to it.
Oh! 0-2.
That pitch comes in and you're a hitter. It looks like it's coming at you and it's going to be high, and you tend to give up on it. Broke down over the plate, front door breaking ball.
Nick laid off that one.
So he went front door breaking ball to a chase breaking ball. What will he do now?
He goes back out there.
Fastball away.
Just off the plate. 2-2.
Good sequence there. You're a hitter, you're kind of half looking for that breaking pitch, the chase pitch again. But he threw the fastball right there in the corner. If that's on the plate, you have a hard time pulling the trigger sometimes.
And that time he got the outside corner with a fastball, threaded it. 6 strikeouts for Hutchison, a 1-2-3 6th. lowest tire price period, Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here in Toronto, 6-1 in favor of the Jays, trying to win their second straight in this series over the Tigers. And the first pitch is hammered back up the middle, right by Iglesias into center field. A single for Ryan Goins. His third hit of the game, so the bottom of the lineup continues to produce for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, 6 hits today from 7, 8, 9.
Here's Tulowitzki. Single and a couple of strikeouts for Tulowitzki. And Knudsen will throw back to first base. Guido came on in the 5th inning and gave up a single and a walk, but no damage. The first time the Jays did not score in an inning today. They've gotten the leadoff man on here in the 6th.
Big lead over there at first base.
Strike called on Tulowitzki. Spent 10 years with the Rockies over in the National League. He's a .299 career hitter with Colorado.
I tell you, Colorado's a much different environment than the Toronto. This playing surface right here. You got the turf, you have the altitude. Ball really flies in Colorado. The other thing is you can't really work out. You know, these guys like to work out a lot wherever they go, but we found that when you go to Colorado, you have to really scale back your workouts and make them very, very light, because you'll find a lot of injuries happen. Usually if you play in Colorado 3 or 4 days, then you go somewhere else, they'll happen right after that. So recovery time. So Tulo will be able to get after it a little more aggressively now that he's here.
I had no idea that was the case. Tulowitzki waits on the 0-2. Why is that? Because of the altitude?
Yep, absolutely. You can tell, like if you normally run, you go out and run in Colorado, it's much different because of the altitude. If you lift weights, whatever it is, you don't sleep as good when you get into higher altitude. It's, you know, their upper deck is a mile above sea level.
Swing and a miss. 93 up there at the letters. Tulowitzki strikes out for the 3rd time today.
Well, we've been watching Josh Donaldson a bit. Hit a home run last night, and an MVP candidate. Just really got that leg kick. It seems like he's seeing everything, hitting everything right on the button, getting the big hits, playing a better third base, leads the league in runs, RBI, really top 5 in almost every offensive category. You will have to get him right now. Good challenge for a young kid.
Donaldson in this game with a single and a run scored.
I'll tell you, last night when he hit that home run, Tigers were pitching him inside. When he came up for that at bat, he guessed right. He pulled his hands in and hit it a long way. Just kind of tells you the mindset, realizing and making the adjustment. That's what the good hitters do. Got to trust it. You have a hunch, you have to go with it and believe in it, have conviction in it, and it'll work out.
Fouled away. 0-1 on Donaldson. But Farmer started this game. Knudsen came on in the 5th. And now working here in the 6th. This Jays team trying to get back to the postseason for the first time since 92-93, when they won back-to-back World Series. It has been that long. It doesn't seem right, but it is. It'll bounce in and away from McCann. Advance the runner in scoring position.
It takes away the double play.
It'll be a wild pitch. Blue Jays this year have had a franchise record 20 games in which they've scored 10 or more. Tigers held them to 5 last night, but it was enough. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Goins coming to third. They're going to try and score, and Collins is thrown not in time. Throw down to second is high, and Donaldson is safe there. 7-1 Toronto.
Fortunately, Josh Donaldson continues to hurt the Tigers in this first 2 games. Let's take a look at the bell tire pitch by pitch. The wild pitch there, and then he goes up and away again, and Donaldson hits it through the 3-4 hole. Throw to the plate, goes on to second. Watch this slide right here. That's an old-fashioned layout hook slide. And he holds on to the bag. Another RBI. Toronto now leads 7-1 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now Bautista. That is the 11th hit of the afternoon now for Toronto. They lead 7-1.
He's got 2 hits that way today.
Popped up. It'll head back into the seats. 0-1 and Bautista, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. So Donaldson hit one off the 3rd deck and left last night. Today he just goes the other way with a couple of singles. One of them producing a run. Bautista waits on the 0-1. Driven deep in the air to center field. Ghost is on the run, still going back. He'll run it down. Donaldson will tag, and he will come to third base. Two outs.
Boy, he gave it a ride right here. Anthony goes on his horse. Watch him quickly around, gets the ball back in. The thing about when you get the ball back in, any ball player, you want to make sure you make a good throw into that cutoff man. You have a runner on second. If you don't make a good cutoff, you can round third, get on into home for a run scored. I don't think you'll see Anthony Ghost not getting his head turned around anytime soon on the fly ball. He'll remember that mistake.
Ball 1 to Encarnacion. So the Jays now have scored in every inning with the exception of the 5th. Three-run shot for Encarnacion in the 1st. And he drills this one deep to left field. Rajay turns on it, and it's gone. A line drive home run, his 2nd of the day. Blue Jays.
This ball is really crushed by Edwin Encarnacion. About 3 seconds to get out here. It's on the line. Pitch out over the middle of the plate. And if you're going to do that, we've seen so far in this series, the Blue Jays are going to hit out of the park on you. Look how quick it gets out. Not much elevation on it. Rajay Davis knew it right away.
5 home runs in the series for Toronto. And they've opened up an 8-run lead. That's their 12th hit of the game.
Yeah, I know it hurts to watch it. It hurts to play in it as well. But if you look over the past years, Tigers have had many moments like them themselves. You got to bear and grin it. Try and turn it around.
Gorzelani throwing in the Detroit bullpen. Smoke has walked a couple of times. He'll drive this one toward left field. That ball slicing toward the corner, and it's going to be fair. And bounce over the wall for a ground rule double, the second double of the game for Smoke. He's on base 4 times this afternoon.
Well, we talked about the term that I used, and I saw a website. It's called Cluster Luck, and they get hits in clusters. They hit home runs in clusters. And I wish I wouldn't have said it because they're proving me right. It's just they're on a roll right now.
Yeah, 3 hits in this inning.
2 runs. First inning, 3 runs. They had, what, 3 hits there?
3 hits in the second as well. Scored a run. I'm going to walk him intentionally, so Martin will not bat here with first base open. And Ben Rivera on deck, and all he's done is gone 3 for 3.
Well, he's going to make a pitching change.
Gorzelani has been heating up in the Detroit bullpen.
You got Rivera on deck, so you wouldn't walk a righty to get to the lefty. But you do have Gorzelani warming up, and I'm sure he'll be the guy.
So Knudsen will deliver ball 4. That should be it for the young right-hander. Here comes Brand. Tigers will go to the bullpen here in the 6th inning with 3 more runs in. A wall-side windows pitching change. Knudsen is out. We'll be back.
Encarnacion here in the 6th inning hits his 2nd home run. 2nd pitch of the at-bat. 103.8 miles per hour off of the bat. You can see the season average there only in the 80s, so he hit it hard. That's his 2nd home run of the day. Haven't quite the day. Scored 3 runs. Was he a 25-game hit streak? 25-game hit streak?
Encarnacion at 24 in a row, with an exclamation point today with his 2 homers. What about Gorzelani?
You got a new pitcher, Tom Gorzelani, the lefty. Brad Ausmus decided to go the lefty on lefty. Gorzelani on Rivera. Be his 39th game. 24 strikeouts, 19 walks.
This is the 8th man to bat in the inning. Ben Rivera has a double, 2 singles, and an RBI. And really good defensive play. What a day for Ben Rivera. Strike 1 from the lefty Gorzelani. 9 runs, 13 hits. Toronto. The Tigers run on 6 hits. High fly ball. That's into center field where Ghost is positioned, and they'll step in front of Collins to make the catch. That'll end the inning. Barzilai gets the final out. Go to the 7th. Couple of homers, a 5 RBI day as well. 24-game hit streak for Encarnacion. And well, Hutchinson again, he's getting a lot of run support. He's given up 1 earned run in 6 innings. He came in with about 7 runs per start this year in run support. Well, they've given him 9 today. And here is Tyler Collins to lead it off in the 7th. Hutchinson had a 1-2-3-6. Back to work he goes. And Collins sends a slow ground ball to second. Goins gobbles it up. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, talking about the run support, last 10 seasons, Drew Hutchison, he's the guy on top. JV in 2007 enjoyed it as well. Pretty good names on that list.
7.72 this year for Hutchison.
It's going to go up today. Is that current? Or is...
That was coming in, so that's not even including the 9 he's got today.
Now you notice the Tigers, you got to try and pick yourself up. Had a lot of easy outs early. Collins first pitch swinging. James McCann first pitch swing. Got to make sure you get a good pitch, good swing. If things are going good for you like they are the Blue Jays, everything's just rolling and it's not hard to throw strikes and everything's going your way.
McCann ground out, strikeout in this game. That stayed high. 1-2 on James. Iglesias will be next. This will be his 100th pitch coming up. And it's going to get away. This will allow McCann to reach on strike 3. Break there for the Tigers.
Great break for the Tigers.
Maybe the 7th strikeout for the right-hander Hutchison.
Never know, it could get you turned around. Strikeout, wild pitch. Need base runners, and we'll take it. Russell took for granted. He tried to glove that instead of go down and block it. It could have cost him.
So now an even 100 for Hutchison. Liam Hendricks is warming up in the bullpen for Toronto. Iglesias looks at a strike. A couple of hits today for Jose. Had an infield single in his last at bat, bumping his average up to 304.
Take another.
Strike called, outer edge. 0-2. There's Hendricks. In the air to center field. Pilar makes the catch. He's going to try and double up the runner. McCann got back.
Well, Drew Hutchison got beat by the Tigers back in July 3rd, but been pretty dominating today. Good combination. Fastballs, breaking balls, throwing a couple changeups, playing good defense. Ground balls, fly balls. Through 6 and a third. 6 hits, 1 run, no walks. Dominating the strike zone, 7 strikeouts. Actually had 6 and 2/3.
Rajai Davis with 2 outs. Fouled off 0-1. Rajai is single and a fly out in this game. One more tomorrow against the Jays. Off day on Monday in Kansas City, and then that series against the Royals starts on Tuesday night. That is popped up. Foul ground, going to be a tough play. Smoke and Goins with a nice sliding play. Jays are doing it all today. Swinging the bats and playing defense. We go to the stretch. On the mound tomorrow for the Jays. The upcoming matchup presented by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning. He'll be opposed by Alfredo Simon.
Well, Mark Burley, he's thrown had a lot of starts in his career, and he works fast. I can tell you that. And Alfredo Simon, prior to last start, had a really good outing. 1 hitter, but stumbled in his last start, so he'll be looking to get it turned back around and take the old man down.
Here is Kevin Pilar to lead it off. Facing Tom Gorsalani, who delivers a strike on the outer edge. Romine has come into the ball game now. He'll replace Kinsler at second. Missed it outside. Just outside again. 2 balls, 1 strike on Pilar. Goins and then Tulowitzki to follow here in the 7th for the Blue Jays, who put up 9 runs on 13 hits. Swing and a miss.
Good breaking pitch there, down into the hands.
Pilar is 0 for 3, pop up, ground out, and he hit into a force his last time up. And down he goes. Tied him up again, 1 gone. First strikeout for Corso. As promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Detroit's Data Strong Fan, and you'll have a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
I just half anticipate one of these days I'm going to see my face in there.
Oh, you will.
Somehow. Wouldn't put you up to anything.
No, I certainly wouldn't do that to you. Here's Goins. Fouled off the mask.
You know, nowadays with all the cameras and the phones, got to really keep your eyes open.
You could have a photo of yourself taken without even knowing it.
That's correct.
Been a big day for Goins. 3 hits, all singles. He has scored twice.
Well, he's had a good series so far.
Hitting streak now at 8 straight.
Had a hit last night as well. Played good defense.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the one thing you wonder, Gibby, about this offense that Toronto has put together, can they maintain throughout the month of September and then even into the postseason? It's awfully hard. I mean, they're scoring. Well, they've scored a ton of runs against the Tigers, but they're pretty prolific.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to believe, but I'm kind of looking at the other parts of their game. Playing very good defense. They have a good mix of power and speed. And those are the things that if you're not going to hit, how are you going to win the game? You got to be able to play D. Got to be able to steal a base, take an extra base on a base hit.
Bouncer to third. Castellanos a step to his right.
So they're much improved over the last time we watched them, I'd say.
With 2 gone, here's Tulowitzki. The other thing you wonder about is that they peaked too soon. I mean, they made that big charge from behind in the wild card to taking over first place in the East, but there's still a lot of baseball to be played.
There is. They're going to have a lot of division play. I don't know how many more times they play the Yankees. But it's just like if you were running around a track and you had to run somebody down. It takes a lot out of you. It takes the wind out of you, and they'll have a big challenge ahead of them for sure.
Ball outside to Tulowitzki. He has had a hit today. He's singled in the second, but he's also struck out 3 times.
Did have a home run yesterday and a walk, along with the strikeout.
Couldn't hold up.
There you got Cito Gaston and Devon White talking baseball up there. Cito, he won the World Championships back in the 90s.
Early 90s, 92, 93. There are the banners. Cito the head man.
Getting his due, as he should. Fully dedicated to this organization. Heard he could be a pretty tough manager at times. Pretty straightforward, demanded excellence out of his team. Very fundamental. I know I respected him from the other side.
Two and two. Troy Tulowitzki, 2 outs in the 7th. Ooh, that thing bounced in and all the way to the backstop.
A little too much break on that one.
Orsolani came on in the 6th, got the final out. And now in search of a 1-2-3 7th. Bounce again, that'll be a walk. 2 out base on balls for Tulowitzki.
Looked like Gorzo just tried to overthrow those last couple of sliders right there.
We'll bring up Josh Donaldson.
Tough walk right there. You don't want to have anybody on when Josh Donaldson comes up.
He's had a couple of hits today.
Yeah, scored a couple of runs.
Come the MVP chance again.
Hit 340 off left-handed pitchers.
Ball 1.
Oh, that's a tight call there. Just off the plate. At 9-1, sometimes you expect it to get a little bigger at the plate. That black area on the outside.
Pounded back out of play. 1-1 on Donaldson.
Since last night, when the Tigers, when Donaldson got the home run off of Boyd, Tigers have pretty much been throwing Donaldson away. There you see his ranks. First in RBI runs, extra base hits, second total bases and home runs. Pretty solid year.
That's fouled straight back.
That's right in front of us.
1-2.
I don't know Josh Donaldson. He seems like the kind of guy that would be a good sparring partner, you know.
Yeah.
Walk through the clubhouse, grab on, wrestle a little bit, joust a little bit. Kind of like your sparring partner if you're a boxer.
Here's the 1-2. High, towering fly ball center field. Anthony goes on the move. Track, wall, can't get it. Up against the wall, that'll score another run. Donaldson is in with a long double to center. Another 2-out in scores a run for the Blue Jays.
Well, you can hear the chant. Going to get a pitch runner. Take a look. He's got that leg kick. He's just locked in. Catches this ball out front. I think he thought he might have got it. You see Anthony Ghost, who always plays a shallow center field, coming up in that wall, just comes up short. So Donaldson with the stand-up double.
And that makes it a 10-1 game. Oh, it hit the thing now. They're going to put the runner back to first, so it stays 9-1.
Yeah, back to third as it hit the thing over the wall.
Here come the umpires to take a look at it now.
I think they might come and look at the video.
So they've taken the run off the scoreboard here in the ballpark, and now they'll look at the video here. Let's take a look.
So it bounces up.
Let's see what it hits. Top of the wall.
Hit underneath that right there.
So on the field they called it a ground rule double.
Yeah, it's out of play.
Pennington, by the way, coming in a pinch run for Donaldson.
And the umpires are now getting a video review by talking to New York.
offense apparently is not going to take very long. Yep, put the runner back to third base, so it stays 9-1. It'll be a 2-base hit, but no RBI for Donaldson. Tulowitzki goes to third. So it's still a 9-1 ball game. That'll bring up Jose Bautista. One of the shortest reviews that we've had this year.
I think Hunter Wendelstead went out there with the ball when it was hit. You got a very good look at it.
1-1 on Bautista. 57 seconds. Tulowitzki at third, Pennington at second. That was the 14th hit of the game for the Blue Jays. Checked it, and he went. Bob Davidson says, let's move it along here.
Well, we're just going to take a look where Tulo was when it goes up underneath out of play. He hasn't made it to the base yet. I don't think it matters on that play. I think he gets, it's a ground rule double. He gets moved to third, period.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think with fan interference or something like that, maybe it could be different. They could go, we'll look at the film and place the runners where they would have been.
That's a good point. Alex Wilson warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Here's the 1-2. McCann, active all day today, blocks another, and the count goes 2-2.
Gorzelani has really thrown a lot of those breaking balls into the right-handed batter's box. With Pennington there, an old ex-teammate of mine, one of the best. Great role player, could play anywhere on the diamond. Even wants to pitch sometimes. Third catcher.
That's making yourself valuable. You can do all that.
Yeah, you can play all the positions. You do it.
Way outside. McCann had to leave the crouch there. 3-2.
On a good team, it's really important to have good role players. People that understand how to keep themselves ready. They may go a week, 2 weeks without playing, then all of a sudden have to play. They may have to play 4 or 5 days in a row. Somebody gets hurt. So a good complimentary piece for the Blue Jays.
And he lost it. Gorzelani walks another here in the 7th. Well, that's going to load the bases. McCann out. And Gorzelani's day appears to be over. Wilson coming in. Another pitching change. We'll be back.
to load the bases to face Edwin Encarnacion, who's having a great night in the first inning with a three-run homer. And then here again in the sixth, barreled another one, and he's on fire. Stay tuned.
Well, he's up there with the bags full now. Alex Wilson has come in for the Tigers.
48 games, really throwing the ball well. 1.75 ERA. Encarnacion is 1 for 3 off Alex Wilson in his career with a home run.
Well, Edwin hit a slam against Texas earlier this week. He's got 8 of them now. 2 this year. Ball outside, 2-0. $28 home runs on the year for Encarnacion. Tulowitzki, Pennington, Bautista. High fly ball, right field. Ball hit well. Collins back, track, wall. And that ball is out of here. It's another grand slam for Encarnacion. You can't have a bigger day than this.
And he showed you why.
Ball 1 to Smoke. Second career 3 home run game. Last time he did it 2010. 3-run shot, 2-run shot, grand slam. Smoke has been on base 4 times, 2 doubles, 2 walks. Well, somebody threw a hat out there in the center field warning track. It is indeed a hat trick for Encarnacion. Got a couple of them, as a matter of fact.
It's a little hockey tradition there.
And now they're just continuing to throw hats on the field.
Yeah, somebody started this.
This may not end now.
Looking like getting to go out there and pick up a nice sweaty hat, huh?
Yeah, they're not going to be very crisp this afternoon. This is going to go on for a while now. Here they come. Their hats flying all over the place.
Then you get the announcement, please don't throw your hat on the field.
That always works, doesn't it? They may just have to play through this.
Yep.
A 3-homer game for Encarnacion.
Well, ball kind of middle of the plate right there. He's trying to get him the first 2 pitches away. He doesn't know whether he's got it, but as Tyler Collins jumps up to get it, just runs out of real estate. Here come the hats.
Well, another sellout crowd is having some fun here today in Toronto. 46,000 plus in attendance, and they've watched an offensive explosion by the home team and by that guy. 9 RBIs for Encarnacion. smoke settling back into the batter's box.
Very electric here in this stadium right now.
Here's the 2-0, and it's high. 3 balls, no strikes. The 9 RBI day today for Encarnacion ties a club record. Roy Howell back in 1977 against the Yankees.
Was it here at our exhibition stadium? Do we know that?
Don't know that. Just says against the Yanks. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss. If it was a home game, it would have been an exhibition stadium back then.
Well, certainly a day he'll never forget. Tigers were going to want to forget it.
3-2 is pounded back out of play. The Blue Jays today recording their 6th consecutive sellout. Three-two. And he walks him. That'll bring up Russell Martin. 13-1 Toronto. They have scored in every inning but the 5th in this game.
Uncharacteristic for Alex Wilson to get behind in the count and walk batters.
Fly ball, right center field. That ball is hit well. Ghost and Collins go back. They look up and it's gone.
Martin, first pitch out over the plate, up and away. Everything's going right. And I think that's the 3rd walk that is scored this inning for the Blue Jays. So, as we talked about yesterday in the game, you don't want to put guys on. These guys barrel it, and 3 walks this inning.
7 home runs in the first 2 games in this series. For the most potent offense in baseball, the Jays came in averaging over 5 a game. They've more than doubled that today, and they lead 15-1. Then Rivera, the 9th man at bat in the inning. Chopper, fair ball inside the bag at 3rd. And Rivera has a single, his 4th hit. Talked about the fact the Blue Jays have gone a lot of 10-run games. That's 21 of them now this year, franchise record.
A lot of smiles on that bench.
And Gibbons has it on cruise control today. Here's Pilar. Started the inning by striking out against Gorzolani. '17-hit day, but Pilar is hitless. Off the end of the bat.
Always got to be one guy.
Well, Bautista's hitless as well today, but he has a couple of walks and 2 runs scored. Everybody else has at least 1.
So 5 runs this inning, all with 2 outs.
There's another base hit. Well, Pilar is drawing the club. Well, they don't stop, do they? Wilson has come on, given up a homer, a walk, a homer. Single. previous high for runs allowed by the Tigers this year was 14 against the Yankees. The Blue Jays have eclipsed that today.
15-1. We're here in the bottom of the seventh. Alex Wilson has been the most consistent pitcher out of the bullpen the Tigers have had all year. This is happening to him. As I said, two outs, 3 walks, 6 runs.
Neftali Feliz warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Ball 1. Ryan Goins, a 3-hit game. Blue Jays now have 18 hits in this contest.
Yeah, now 2-0. I wonder if Alex Wilson's arm's not feeling good. Does not throw the ball the same.
Foul away. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Came into today 61 2/3 innings, 10 walks. Struggling with his command his last couple of outings.
Here's the 2-1. Driven toward left field. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Rajay under it. And that'll mercifully bring to an end the 7th inning. A 6-run 7th. And the Jays pounding the baseball all over the lot today. 15-1.
Last couple of days is Daniel Norris. Of course, he was the big piece that came over from the Blue Jays in the David Price deal. Norris told me today that he was going to have a test on that strained oblique muscle. He's feeling really, really good, probably better than he thought he'd be feeling at this point. And if all things go well, there's a chance he could begin to throw a little bit when we get to Kansas City. Mario Curtis.
All right, Keith, thank you.
Yeah, I was down there when Daniel came by and said that he's feeling much better, and he's holding out hope that he can come back before the end of the year. Liam Hendricks, new pitcher for the Blue Jays, 2.72 ERA, 56 strikeouts, and only 9 walks. Pretty good number right there.
Couple of defensive changes. Pennington stays in the game to play third base as Ezekiel Cabrera comes in to play right field. Anthony Ghost leads it off, looks at ball one. Ghost is 1 for 3 today, singled in his last at bat. He fouls it back out of play. 1-1 the count. 18 hits for the Jays today is too shy of their season high. They had 20 against the Angels last week.
Yeah, they're having fun on that side. A very humbling day for the Tigers.
Swing and a miss. He chased up Hendricks at 96.
Yeah, he's pretty much a fastball slider guy. Occasional curveball, occasional changeup. Up there around 95, 96. Slider comes in about 86, 88.
Did not go. Liam Hendricks from Perth, Australia. 26 years old.
You ever been to Australia?
I have not. I'm dying to go.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been to the other side. Actually played a game there, two games there last year. Opened up the Major League season.
That's right.
Born in Perth was Liam Hendricks.
2-2.
Lots of strikes there. 69% strike percentage.
Full count on Ghost. He'll be followed by Romine and then Cabrera. We're in the 8th inning. 15-1. Toronto in the lead. Here's a 3-2. And he lost it, ball 4, so Hendricks comes in and walks the leadoff man. Don't forget to get your tickets. See the Tigers battle the Rays on Labor Day at 1:08 p.m. for only $9.07, courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. Offer available exclusively at Tigers.com/diamond deals that expires at 10 p.m. So take advantage. Here's Romine. Fouled away 0-1. Romine's first at bat after replacing Ian Kinsler. Here's the 0-1.
Yeah, if you're a manager, you're down by this many runs, you'd hope to be able to rest your regulars. With only 3 men on the bench, it'd be kind of tough to do for Brad Ausmus today. JD Martinez being one of them, who's getting an off day. He's played in 126 games out of the 128. Alex Avila is the other. Tigers have been carrying an extra bullpen arm. That's 8 instead of the normal 7.
One and 2 on Romine. Series finale tomorrow. Burley and Simon. Then it's on to KC. The month of September is just about here. Bouncing ball right side of the infield. Goins to second one. No relay.
Oh, look at there.
A slide at second base, drawing the ire of Pennington. Or of Tulowitzki, I should say.
Well, he's playing hard. I think that was not out of the ordinary. He went in hard. He's not just going to roll over and let him have the turn the 2. Get out of the way, you're okay. But Tulo took exception to that, turned around and said something, and Anthony Ghost did a good job, just ran out the base. You can understand both sides of that, can't you?
Looked like Tulowitzki also pointed to the scoreboard.
Yep. Well, Anthony Ghost is probably a little frustrated.
Miggy grounds one foul.
He would never get on anybody about hustling, no matter what the score is.
Cabrera is 0 for 3 in this game. And now 1 for 7 in the series. Hendricks delivers a strike, and it's 0-2. Another 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Liam Hendricks. Former member of the Minnesota Twins, the organization he broke in with. He pitched briefly with Kansas City and Toronto last year. Miggy shoots one down the left field line, foul.
Now, we were just showing you Andrew Romine. You get to this point, there's kind of some unwritten rules. Do you steal? Do you not steal? It's usually based upon where the first baseman is. You watch where the first baseman, if he's up on you, you don't go. But if he plays way back by the line there, we would always go. So you get games like this, things can get testy when I hear by the rules as well as the unwritten rules.
1-2 on Cabrera. Swing and a miss, and Miggy goes down. He is 0 for 4 today. 2 outs.
Pretty lively fastball inside corner. Miggy can't get the barrel on it. He's gone through a little dry spell here.
Here's Martinez. Victor is 0 for 3. That's in there, a strike. For Martinez, he hit a ball to the wall and left in his first at bat. A couple of ground balls in each of his last 2, and he waves and misses. 0-2 to count on Victor. Tigers got their only run back in the third. Couple of singles and a ground out by Kinsler, and that has been it. Hutchison started this one, giving way to Hendricks here in the 8th. Fouled away.
Kid's got a lively arm, doesn't he?
He sure does. I don't recall him throwing this hard when he was with Minnesota. But I may have been mistaken as well. I mean, he's been 96 here.
Everybody the Blue Jays have been bringing in has been pretty impressive so far this series. They've got it rolling. Offense and defense synced up well.
Swing and a miss. Martinez is out of there. A couple of strikeouts for Liam Hendricks. We go to the bottom of the 8th at Rogers Center. to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives to Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Back here in Toronto, where it's all Blue Jays today, 15-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Rogers Center. Gibby, which boat is yours?
Mine's the little one down here, the little cool one right here.
Take a little tour.
Sneaky. Under the radar.
It's quick.
Yeah, that thing will get flying if you don't watch it. We'll take the team out for a little dinner tonight on that boat and get them ready for tomorrow. Maybe have some refreshments, get them loosened up, stressing out.
Neftali Feliz has come in now to pitch the 8th inning.
Been a lot of time on the water.
Troy Tulowitzki leading it off here in the 8th inning. Tulowitzki is 1 for 4. And he'll foul that one back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tulo not really, doesn't look like he's that comfortable with the plate. I've seen him in the past have much better rhythm at the plate, but we don't need to see him get on track. The rest of this team are really swinging the bats well in this series so far.
Foul away.
That was close.
It wasn't even close.
That was within what, 15 feet?
Yeah, it was at least 15 feet to our left.
It was what I liked about it was coming over your way.
Yeah.
I can hardly wait to see this.
Yeah. Gee, thanks for all the confidence.
Well, but it is. I didn't have the softest glove in the universe either. So
swing and a miss. Tulowitzki strikes out for the 3rd time. Bring up Pennington. This will be his first at bat after coming out as a pinch runner for Donaldson in the 7th.
Coming over a couple weeks ago from the Diamondbacks, he is a switch hitter, can play all positions.
Foul tip into the glove. Strike 1 on Cliff Pennington, who is now 31 years old. Broke in with the Athletics in 09. In fact, he was a 1st-round pick of the A's way back. Ball outside.
I was looking at these guys, the Jays. They got quite a few. I think I counted up 10 first-rounders. Penny,
really?
David Price, Tulo, Smoke, R.A. Dickey, Marcus Stroman, Ben Rivera, Aaron Sanchez, Brett Cecil. Is that 10?
I don't know.
I wonder what the normal is. I'm going to start looking. But there's also, if you look at every team, there's many draftees that have been well down the draft order. They got an opportunity to contribute as well.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Feliz threw it by. Pair of strikeouts. Don't forget to follow the Tigers all season long in 2015 with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball that batters up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Two away now for Ezekiel Cabrera. His first at bat. Former Tiger, Cabrera. Replaced Bautista in right field. Stroke to center. Anthony Gose is there. And Feliz with a 1-2-3 8th inning. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left. On our way to the ninth.
After a game like this, we'll have it all for you in the Tigers Live post-game show. You'll hear from Brad Ausmus. You'll hear from Buck Farmer, the starter today. That seems like a long time ago. Mario and Gibby, excuse me. Upstairs we go.
Ooh. All right, here we go to the ninth inning, 15-1. Old habits. It's all right, Keats. Old Schultz is on now for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yep, another kid out of independent ball. Bill Brick, one longtime scout, discovered him. 25 games for the Jays. Good velocity. ERA of 2.61. Goes very hard.
Fouled back by Castellanos as we begin things here in the top of the ninth. Nick in the ball game is 1 for 3. Couple of strikeouts his last 2 times.
Wouldn't it be something if he came back? What is the biggest comeback of all time?
Nothing is impossible in baseball.
Exactly. Got to think that way. Get a little bit of momentum. Get some bonus baseball.
Here's the 0-2. Ooh, he got him strike 3. Castellanos not a fan of that call from Manny Gonzalez.
Little cutter off the body. Started it inside. He's got a little wrinkle right there at the end. Got Nick looking.
So our game summary. Encarnacion has had a huge day. 3 home runs, including a grand slam, 9 RBIs, and Hutchison was pretty good today. 1 earned run in 7 innings, no walks.
Yeah, much different pitcher today than he was in Detroit back in July 3rd.
Encarnacion, though, the star of today's game. There's a high drive off the bat of Tyler Collins. Pilar. 2 gone. That's going to leave it up to James McCann. Another day game tomorrow here as the Tigers wrap up this series. Alfredo Simon on the hill for Detroit. Now the crowd coming to its feet, looking for the final out as McCann stands in. Ball 1. 97 from Schultz. Oh, born in Dallas, lives in Chicago. Outside 2-0.
Fans on their feet, customary when you're trying to get the last out.
They've been entertained today, to be sure. In there, a strike call.
Yeah, last night and today.
Swing and a miss. 2-2 now on James McCann. Now the crowd really coming alive. Here's the 2-2. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Schultz replacing Liam Hendricks, who pitched the 8th. Iglesias would bat next if McCann keeps it going. Here's the 3-2. Towards second base and over the head of the second baseman going.
There we go. There's the start of it right there.
2-out single for McCann. Gibby, you're not giving up at all.
No, I'm not. That's good that James McCann finally got a knock. He had a tough day as well. A couple of strikeouts. Gets a little blooper right there. Keeps it alive for Jose Iglesias. I've been standing in that on-deck circle in games like this before, and you really do have to force yourself to. Don't want to give away an at-bat here. And I know it probably never happened coming back from this type of deficit, but why not? I'm sure there's people out there just watching saying, oh, he's crazy. And that's pretty accurate too.
Well, they say that anyway.
That's
whether
right.
it's 1-0 or 15-1.
Just don't give in.
0-1 on Iglesias.
You don't give in, and then if it's over, you tip your cap and reload for the next game.
Iglesias letting Gonzalez know about that last call.
He's let him know about it too. Look at that one. It's close swing.
Fouled it back. Two singles in the ballgame today for Iglesias. 2 of the 7 Tigers hits. 18 hits for the home team. Bouncing ball back up the middle should do it. And he'll tag the bag for the force. And the Blue Jays have won the first 2 games in the series convincingly today behind Encarnacion. His 3-homer game.
Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Edwin Encarnacion, what a day. 3 home runs, first one in the first inning, the second in the 6th, and then in the 7th, the grand slam, 9 RBI in the day. The Jays go on to defeat the Tigers 15-1. Tigers going for the game tomorrow to get something out of this series.
It was a hat trick today for Encarnacion. There's your final score. 15-1. Blue Jays win. We'll be back.